The strange reason meditation feels boring at first. Everyone talks about meditation like it's a magic pill for calm and bliss. You see the pictures, people by serene lakes, looking totally at peace. So you give it a shot. You close your eyes, you focus on your breath, and nothing. Or worse, you feel antsy, restless. You're already making a mental grocery list and wondering if you've somehow failed at sitting still. What gives? Well, that jumpy, I'd rather be doing anything else feeling isn't a sign that you're bad at meditation. In fact, it might just be the opposite. That boredom is a sign that you're in withdrawal from an addiction you probably didn't even know you had, an addiction to stimulation. And understanding this is the key to finally unlocking the real benefits of the practice. Section 1. Your brain's addiction to noise. First off, let's get one thing straight. It's not your fault that sitting in silence feels boring. Your brain isn't broken. It's just been perfectly trained by the modern world to crave constant stimulation. Think about your average day. It's a non-stop buffet of noise. Your phone buzzes, your inbox is a game of whack-a-mole, and social media is an endless scroll of hot takes and life updates. Our world rewards multitasking and chaos. Stillness feels like we're doing something wrong. This all ties back to a chemical in your brain called dopamine. It's often called the pleasure molecule, but it's really more about motivation. It's released when you anticipate a reward, pushing you to seek things out. Every little notification, every like, every new piece of information is a tiny dopamine hit. Your brain gets used to this constant drip of novelty. So what happens when you decide to meditate? You intentionally shut it all off. For your brain, this is a radical act. It's like going from a rock concert straight into a soundproof room. That overwhelming feeling of boredom isn't just a lack of interest. It feels like a genuine withdrawal symptom. Your brain is basically screaming, "Hey, where did the entertainment go? Give me something to do." That feeling is the sound of you successfully cutting off its usual supply. Section 2. The neuroscience of stillness. This isn't just a metaphor. There's real science at play here. Your nervous system has been trained to see stimulation as productive and safe. When you're busy, your brain feels like it's handling business. Silence, on the other hand, can feel uncomfortable. Your brain starts asking, is everything okay? Shouldn't we be solving a problem or looking for the next thing? Here's the fascinating part. The dopamine you get from scrolling is what scientists call phasic dopamine. It comes in quick, sharp spikes that create a craving cycle. The more you get, the more you need. But meditation works on a completely different system. Over time, it helps increase your tonic dopamine, your baseline level of contentment. One remarkable study on yoga nidra, a type of guided meditation, found that experienced practitioners released 65% more dopamine during their practice than when they were simply resting. They were literally training their brains to find satisfaction in a state of being, not just doing. You're rewiring your brain to feel content with stillness itself. But that's a long-term project. In the beginning, all you feel is the shock of the old system shutting down, which is why it can feel so intensely boring. Section 3. What your boredom is actually hiding. That word boredom is a bit of a catch-all. It's usually a convenient mask for a bunch of other feelings that are just now getting a chance to surface. First, there's pure restlessness. This is the physical side of boredom. Your body is used to moving, so sitting still feels like being in a cage. Your leg wants to jiggle, your back wants to slouch, and your hands want to fidget. Second, Boredom is often a mask for avoidance. When you finally stop distracting yourself, the uncomfortable stuff can bubble up. Old anxieties, that cringy thing you said 7 years ago, you name it. It's way easier for your brain to say, "This is boring," than to admit, "I'm feeling a wave of sadness and I don't know what to do with it." Boredom becomes the perfect escape hatch. Third, boredom is a form of judgment. Think about it. You aren't just experiencing your breath. You're experiencing it in a bored way. You've slapped a label on top of the raw sensation. This is dull. This isn't working. The moment you judge the experience, you've stepped out of pure awareness and into your own running commentary. And finally, there's impatience. You sit down expecting to get a result. Calm, clarity, enlightenment, and you want it now. You're like a kid on a road trip constantly asking, "Are we there yet?" That obsession with a future outcome keeps you from being right here. Section 4, the paradox. Boredom is a gateway, not a wall. So if you felt any of this, here's the most important reframe. Boredom in meditation isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign that something important is happening. It's proof that you're creating the space for your nervous system to recalibrate and for your mind to show you its old, worn-out patterns. There's a saying in mindfulness circles that goes something like this. The moment you feel bored, you're no longer observing your breath. You're observing your thoughts about your breath. It doesn't mean you failed. It just means your attention has shifted. You've become a critic in a movie theater instead of just watching the movie. And herein lies the paradox. The boredom isn't a wall stopping you. It's the very first doorway you have to walk through. The discomfort is the beginning of rewiring your brain's entire relationship with attention. The moment you shift your attitude from resisting the boredom to investigating it with curiosity, everything changes. As soon as you become genuinely interested in what boredom feels like, it stops being boring. You've turned the obstacle into the path. Section 5. The solution. 3 ways to work with boredom. Okay, we've established that boredom is normal, predictable, and even a good sign. But how do you actually get through it without quitting? Here are 3 simple ways to work with the feeling, not against it. First, start with the 5-minute do nothing challenge. Most beginners make the mistake of trying to sit for 20 minutes right away. That's like trying to run a marathon with no training. Instead, just commit to 5. Set a timer, sit down, and give yourself permission to do absolutely nothing. Your only job is to notice the urge to be distracted, to feel the pull of boredom, and to just not give in. See it as an experiment where you're the scientist observing your own mind. Second, name the boredom. This is a classic mindfulness trick. When that restless, agitated feeling shows up, don't fight it. Just acknowledge it. Mentally say to yourself, this is boredom, or boredom is here. By naming it, you create a little space between you and the feeling. It's no longer you who is bored. It's a passing cloud of boredom moving through your awareness. This simple act takes away its power. And third, get actively curious about the sensation. This is the game changer. Instead of pulling away from the boredom, lean into it. What does it actually feel like in your body? Is it a tightness in your chest? A jittery energy in your legs? A dullness behind your eyes? Is it warm or cool? By shifting from the idea of "I'm bored" to the raw physical sensation of it, you transform it. You're no longer suffering from boredom. You're exploring it. And the moment you get truly curious about something, it can't be boring anymore. Conclusion. The strange reason meditation feels boring at first is because your brain is going through a detox. It's like switching from a diet of junk food to whole foods. At first, everything tastes bland. But over time, your palate adjusts, and you start to appreciate more subtle, satisfying flavors. Boredom isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. It's the necessary discomfort of your mind recalibrating away from endless distraction and toward inner peace. It's the sign that you're finally learning to just be with yourself without needing constant entertainment. So the next time you sit down to meditate and that wave of boredom hits, don't give up. Don't assume you're doing it wrong. Instead, I want you to silently congratulate yourself. You're on the right track. You're feeling the withdrawal, which means the medicine is working.